Queen Elizabeth II was born Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on April 21, 1926 in London. She is the older daughter of Prince Albert, Duke of York, later known as King George VI, and Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. At the time of her birth, most people did not realize Elizabeth would someday become the Queen of Great Britain. Elizabeth, nicknamed Lilibet, got to enjoy the first decade of her life with all the privileges of being a royal. Elizabeth's father and mother divided their time between a home in London and Royal Lodge, the family's home in the grounds of Windsor Great Park. Elizabeth and her younger sister, Margaret, were educated at home by tutors. Academic courses included French, mathematics, and history, along with dancing, singing, and art lessons. With the outbreak of World War II in 1939, Elizabeth and her sister largely stayed out of London, having been relocated to Windsor Castle. From there, she made the first of her famous radio broadcasts in 1940. With this particular speech, reassuring the children of Britain who had been evacuated from their homes and families. The 14-year-old princess, showing her calm and firm personality, told them that in the end, all will be well, for God will care for us and give us victory and peace. Queen Elizabeth married her distant cousin Philip Mountbatten, a surname adopted from his mother's side, on November 20, 1947 at London's Westminster Abbey. Elizabeth first met Philip, son of Prince Andrew of Greece, when she was only 13. She was smitten with him from the start. The two kept in touch over the years and eventually fell in love. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's relationship was one of love, respect, and long-lasting admiration. They first met at Britannia Royal Naval College in 1939, where an 18-year-old cadet Philip was introduced to a 13-year-old Princess Elizabeth of England while she was touring the grounds. From then, it's said the young royal never thought of anybody else. The two began to exchange letters through the war years. Upon his return from the Pacific Theater in 1946, his relationship with Queen Elizabeth blossomed. It's presumed that he proposed that June on the grounds of Balmoral. Prince Philip wrote a letter dated from that year. To have been spared in the war and seen victory, to have been given the chance to rest and readjust myself, to have fallen in love completely and unreservedly makes all one's personal, and even the world's troubles seem small and petty. Even though the king liked Philip, he wanted to keep his daughter's engagement a secret for a bit. The two had fallen in love and wanted to get engaged by the summer of 1946. When Elizabeth was about 20 years old, the king approved the engagement but felt that Elizabeth was too young. They waited to make it in public until she turned 21. That November, they wed in front of 2,000 people at Westminster Abbey. At the time of their wedding, Great Britain was still recovering from the ravage of World War II, and Elizabeth collected clothing coupons to get fabric for her gown. Elizabeth and Philip wasted no time. Son Charles was born in 1948, the year after their wedding, and daughter Anne arrived in 1950. Elizabeth had two more children, sons Andrew and Edward, in 1960 and 1964. It wasn't until 1952 when his wife became the Queen of a Nation, almost 5 years after they married. The Queen's father, King George VI, died at only 56, dramatically changing the lives of the young couple. Elizabeth was jolted to the throne, becoming the monarch and head of state at 27. Elizabeth was crowned Queen Elizabeth II on June 2, 1953 in Westminster Abbey at the age of 27. Elizabeth had assumed the responsibilities of the ruling monarch on February 6, 1952. For the first time ever, the coronation ceremony was broadcast on television, allowing people from across the globe to witness the event. Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain is the longest reigning monarch in British history. She celebrated 65 years on the throne in February 2017. Philip also thrust into new roles, left behind his beloved naval career, and took on the job of supporting her, raising their family, managing her palace, and always walking a few paces behind her in public. To mark its year of their union, Buckingham Palace has celebrated with the public by sharing snapshots of their romance behind palace doors. In honor of their most recent 73rd anniversary, the longtime couple received a homemade card from their grandchildren, Prince George, Prince Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Buckingham Palace released a special picture of the Queen and Philip opening the card with smiles and across their faces. It is noted that Philip gave an estimated 5,000 speech according to Buckingham Palace and carried out about 32,000 solo engagements between 1952 and 2017. In May 2017, he announced that he would retire for good, officially taking a step back from his royal duties. From their courtship to their royal wedding and their almost 74-year marriage, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's love story garnered public interest. April 9, 2021, Buckingham Palace announced that the Duke of Edinburgh died at Windsor Castle. He was 99. The Queen famously described him as her strength and stay at the couple's golden wedding anniversary in 1997. He is someone who doesn't take easily to compliments, but he has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years, according to Queen Elizabeth. Let's take a look of their photos over the years.